Live from the Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is the YouTube channel vlog show in which video games, flash game show gameplays, along with sports and wrestling news are the norm. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here's the host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Well, hello there, and happy Black Friday to you all, and welcome yet to another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. I am your host and the perpetrator of shenanigans, Eric Lima. Well, if you have worked at a mall in retail, I'm sure all y'all feel like this guy right here, Harry. That's how I felt today. He's like, people driving me crazy today, man. I was trying to sweep and do my job, and one guy, what's done? Really? And then when you're short-staffed and short-handed, you have to do everything. It's like, oh my gosh. I was so stressed out. You know the song, this most wonderful time of the year is the most stressful time of the year. When you clean up after everyone else and they're scaring the witch at you and they're spilling their drink. It's the most stressful time of the year when you're short-handed at work and you're trying to do two things at once and you're going crazy. Well, at least it's just one day a year it all happens, you know what I'm saying? But it's one day it happens. But however, it's good to come home and good to have a schedule like mine. So, I don't worry about working crazy hours or something like that, and just relax and just enjoy whatever holidays come around. You don't have to worry about going to any store to beat up people and to get stuff and anything like that. And just, hey, this is my TV. Wham! Okay. If you want some wrestling action, this Impact Wrestling did not have like any current matches. I know there's two matches happening next week on Impact Wrestling. Thanksgiving special. They decided to kick it off with some flashback matches that had to do with Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving tradition, Thursdays on Impact. They had a Turkey Bowl match with Rhino and Alex Shelley and Sheikh Abdul Bashir. Whoever gets pinned has to wear a turkey suit. The winner gets $25,000. Rhino won the matchup. Alex Shelley was forced to wear the turkey suit. Now, this is like back in 2008. And then Taylor Wilde, the major players, Tom Hennepin, Eddie Edwards, Tasha Steele, and Joe Hendry had Thanksgiving messages. What are they thankful for? A lot of interesting. Then Diener and Eric Young from Violent by Design were discussing what happened last week and how we're going, we're doing this. And they said they got quite, Angels and Khan, they had questions. They said we had to go back to the basics. So that's what Eric Young said. And then 2007, Kurt Angle's Thanksgiving dinner. And, Jeremy Borash was there. Speaking of Eric Young, he was in this crazy, goofy phase. Kurt Angle and Karen, and his then wife, Karen Angle at the time, and their poor daughter was sitting at the kids' table. They had AJ Styles, Tom Go, Jeremy Borash, and they were making faces and all that. Everybody starts coming in. Black Rain, and Dustin Rhodes and his gimmick of Black Rain. You got Relic, formerly known as Johnny the Bull Stamboli. You got all crazy cast of characters. Bobby Roode came in with Tracy Brooks, and then you got Wildcat Chris Harris, and then Black Machismo and John Day Judd alongside Cal Val. Everybody's coming in. Awesome Khan came in and started shouting, gnawing on some turkey, and then the Dudley Team 3D showed up, and Team 3D showed up. The outside, Hall and Nash showed up, and it deteriorated into a food fight. And that's right. That's how food fights and wrestling, man, they go together, So they had that. And then on Overdrive, they had Mickie James versus Taylor Wilde. Mickie James won the matchup, but Deonna Purrazzo confronts Mickie James, saying that she's right. Rose says, you've been ruining my career, and she goes, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make sure I'm going to end your career. And then James responds to Peraza for that. So that next match is next week. Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickey James. And Deonna Purrazzo wins. Mickey James retires. And then there's a turkey suit challenge. Grado versus Robbie E. And Robbie E won the matchup. And his Grado has a Donga turkey suit. At first he wasn't too happy about it. Then he starts, he hears his music. He starts strutting a little bit, and he starts going like this and having a lot of fun. Ain't no shake. He's doing the grinding thing. I miss Grado, man. That guy is funny. Then they had did a recap of the Overdrive main event, the world title, Josh Alexander versus Frankie Kazarian, which Alexander did win. Bully Ray says he's cashing in his Call Your Shot trophy at for the title at Hard to Kill. The two shake hands, and then Bully Ray blindsides him and attacks Josh Alexander with a chair. And then he threatens his wife and threatens to pile driver on concrete. And then Rich Swann wanted to go to Josh Alexander's aid. He says, listen, and Scott D'Amore came out and says, listen, go help Josh and Jen. I'll deal with Bully Ray. And D'Amore confronts Bully Ray. He kicked the trophy and everything else. And Bully Ray grabs the microphone. Do you know who I am? And walked away. All I can say is Bully Ray is a cold-hearted man. And I'll tell you one thing. Josh is, I'm sure Josh Alexander's going to address it and say, everyone in the locker room was right. I can't trust Bully Ray. You can't trust Bully Ray. And that comes with that title. And then they had, and then 2013 they had a Rockstar Spuds Thanksgiving dinner, organized by Dixie Carter and Ethan Carter III at the time, EC3. They said it was for the winners. And so Bobby Roode and Ego won their match. The Bromans won their matchup. Chris Sabin won his matchup. Gail Kim and Lady Tapa won their match. But then they kicked Velvet Sky out. And then Kurt Angle came out with the losers of the matchup. And they decided, well, they're going to have a food fight. They're going to ruin the thing. And that's exactly what they did. And then Rockstar Spud, a.k.a. Drake Maverick. Oh... I don't know what's worse, Rockstar Spud's Thanksgiving dinner being ruined or him and his marriage being constipated. I don't know. Fiverr is good for that. What do you mean, True? He said his marriage is constipated. Oh, boy. So many funny moments. Then they have a five-way. Rich Swann versus Bhupinder Gunjar versus Jason Hodge versus Kenny King and Mike Bailey. Swann won the matchup, but Kenny King was beating up on Mike Bailey, which... he talked a little bit about Kenny King. Talked a little bit about that because I think Kenny King had the exhibition title won and everything else. And then Jeremy Borash and Gail Kim's husband Robert Irvine was hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. I think it's 2007. And then Eli Drake got his gravy train turkey trot matchup. The Team Eddie Edwards versus Team Adonis. Whoever eats the pinfall in that matchup has to wear the turkey suit. Eddie Edwards pins Christopher Adonis and made him wear a turkey suit. Made him wear the turkey suit. Then there's Delirious and Yuya Uemura. Thanksgiving message. Arigato. Back and forth. These two, I'm like, subtitles, please. No offense for our Japanese, to the Japanese. I mean, I know arigato means thank you. Is that Delirious? We need subtitles for that guy. But no, it was pretty funny, and they're having a lot of fun. I think it's hilarious, though. I think it's like you get Delirious and Yuya Uemura. One speaks Japanese, the other speaks gibberish. We don't know what the heck they're saying. It was like Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik. Have we done this before? Hey, Bobby Heenan. Nah. Now, Yuya Uemura is a wrestler of the future. One of the best out there, and Delirious has been a veteran been a veteran of the Indies for a quite long time, and just for that, everything that happened, just totally cool. So, anyways, so they basically are thankful to be on Impact and thankful to have a great Thanksgiving, and you know what? They're funny together. They keep them as a tag team. They're entertaining, but gotta love them. Gotta love them. Steve Macklin cut a promo on Frankie Kazarian because they're going to go at it next week. 3 matches are happening. Rich Swann versus Bully Ray. Deanna Purrazzo versus Mickey James, and this one, Steve Macklin versus Frankie Kazarian. And then they had the 2007, after the Thanksgiving, the Angles thing, they had the 2007 Turkey Bowl, which the winner gets $25,000. Whoever eats the pin, though, has to wear the turkey suit. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles versus Chris Sabin. And Samoa Joe pinned AJ Styles after the Muscle Buster. And they made AJ Styles dressed as a turkey. Kurt Angle comes out, dressed as a pilgrim. And you're dressed like a pilgrim. There's a difference between a pilgrim and a turkey. I was like, and then Samoa Joe came out with Hall and Nash, and Scott Hall, God rest his soul. He said, hey, we see three jackasses in the ring, and then all three started brawling. It was great in the end. So yeah, that's the Thanksgiving special of Impact Wrestling. Well, no, they should have aired Scarlett Bordeaux, pressuring Glenn Gilberti, a.k.a. Disco Inferno, to wear the turkey suit after he ate the pin from Falaba. So it was 2019, and all of a sudden she said, I never find anything sexier than a man who doesn't take it so seriously. And she pressured him to wear a turkey suit. Oh, wear the turkey suit. He wears a turkey suit. And then she goes, you look like a complete idiot. And that Don Callis laughing, his laughter was hilarious at that point. I'm like, ha ha, gobble, gobble. And then he does a little strut, and oh boy. And then he starts crabbing. Months later, he starts crabbing at Scarlett. He goes, oh, women should be barefoot, pregnant, and I'm like, oh god. Imagine Glenn Gilberti confronting Scarlett now. Karrion Kross will kick his rear end. That's how I think it's. That was happen. Glenn Gilberti make his WWE debut with Disco Inferno, and they have him go up against Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross straight up mollywops him, man. That would be the most hilarious thing. That would be Christmas came early for us. Disco Inferno got the crap beaten out of him by Karrion Kross. I would love to see that. Anyways, that's all the time we have on the show. Episode 183 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. The Impact Event Center from last night. Thanksgiving night special. It was a Thanksgiving special. Okay, and I'm going to keep this out because on AEW Rampage will be coming on in about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Holy, 2.5 hours left for AEW Rampage. I can't wait. But for right now, next episode, the 11th edition of the Bullseye Bonus Island. Got to get everything set up then. So, until the next episode, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, tour for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bofa Raving Dingleberry Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode of the show. See you on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now, and have a very blessed day.